Hello and welcome to the TMZ podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton, and today on the podcast, I'm joined by my good friend Eric Colley. How are you, Eric?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you, mate. Well, we got you in here. You're the music mogul.
I wish I was a
TMZ.
mogul.
Yeah, I know. You're the music guy. You're the music nerd. I say that in a nice way.
No, I take it as a compliment.
Very smart guy. So we're talking about a few different musicians. Kanye West. Is he not on the rocks with Bianca Censori? We'll give you the latest.
Yeah. We're getting some conflicting reports.
We are. Taylor Swift. She and Travis, I guess they're still together because she showed up to his game last night and she gave a big hug to someone who we didn't know if she liked anymore.
Yeah, somebody else she's, on again, off again with.
True. We'll talk about Lisa Marie Presley.
This is a wild story.
Isn't it? Her memoir's coming out, and she had some very interesting stuff about her dead son. She kept his body in the house for a month after he died.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is a bit weird.
I hate to sound judgy, but that's weird.
And finally, our almost news segment at the end here, Chappell Roan. She is continuing to come for people.
Yeah.
Rub some people the wrong way.
Sounding unpleasant.
To begin with, Kanye West, Bianca Censori. Are they together or not? It is hard to determine.
Well, by yesterday, we knew definitely for a fact they were not together, hadn't been seen together in almost a month. He was going to file for divorce is what he was telling people. And then today, they are out shopping together and just all over each other.
Right. So, yeah, we had sources telling us that Kanye West was saying to people in his circle that he planned to divorce Bianca, that he was looking forward to being single again.
And she was moving back to Australia to be with her family, that she'd missed them and wanted to get back with them, and they were done.
They were done. He was saying he was going to live out his bachelor days in Japan.
Sure.
So he posts a story, and then lo and behold, a few hours later, the two lovebirds are seen somewhere in Tokyo, like caressing each other.
Yeah, going on a shopping spree, which is the last time we saw them was a shopping spree.
Yes.
A couple weeks ago. Are they together? Is this, Kanye changes his mind from minute to minute. And maybe he thought he was going to get divorced. And then maybe he decided he wasn't.
Right.
And then maybe later today he'll decide he is.
It's very confusing.
I don't know what's happening. So yeah, we haven't seen them together in weeks. They're still in Tokyo. We don't know where she'd been. Clearly, she's not in Australia. Or if she had been, she got back to Tokyo because, they're back together and seem very in love.
Because yesterday we were talking about how they're headed for divorce, or it's on the horizon. It's being talked about because, we know for a fact Kanye was discussing it with his inner circle. But it appears now that maybe he's mellowed on the idea or backtracked, or maybe they've reconciled in some way.
Maybe, a more like sinister kind of thing. Maybe Kanye, because he doesn't always trust the people around him. Maybe he planted the story that he was getting divorced to one person to see if that person would tell the story, because then
Yes.
I don't know.
Now you need to X out some of your crew members.
Like, I told you that's how the story, that's the only way it could have gotten out, and now you're done.
So
I don't know.
It just also, it's such a believable thing that these two would be done because their relationship has been, a bit odd in a lot of respects.
It's been very bizarre.
We've never heard her talk, for instance,
right.
Basically.
She always kind of walks behind him. People, there's all these stories that he like controls her and all this kind of stuff. He does not think that is true. He got very angry when asked about that one time. But then other times, like she's with his kids. The kids seem to adore her. She seems great with his kids. They travel together. So they seem like a big, happy family sometimes. It is bizarre, but any relationship with Kanye is going to be odd. His relationship with Kim was odd.
Yes.
So maybe that's just his reality.
Yeah, he's a bit sort of volatile and I think he doesn't know what he thinks about. He changes his mind so fluid, everything that he...
But when he changes it, he's always so sincere about it. Like, this is what I think, this is the truth, and then the next day, no, forget that, this is what it is.
Right.
And you never know.
So, as of right now, Kanye and Bianca, they're appearing together. We'll see if it lasts. I hope it does.
Yeah.
I hope it does last. It's a very... interesting couple that we enjoy following.
And it does seem, we don't know their relationship at all because like you said, she doesn't really speak. and he doesn't really speak that much, or if he does, it's usually some sort of
Anti-Semitic.
tangent, or well, that too.
Right.
No, like if you get him out, but in general, just looking from the outside, it seems like she is kind of a calming influence on him. He
Yeah.
seems a lot more grounded and stable now than he did after the Kim divorce, when the anti-Semitic rant was happening and all that was going on. So, I mean, hopefully they're all good.
True. I mean, a single Kanye is a more volatile than someone with, Kim was that, and now Bianca's that, and I hope he can maintain this marriage. They're
Yeah.
married to Bianca.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what it'll be tomorrow?
Who knows? Okay, on to our next story. Taylor Swift. She showed up to the Kansas City Chiefs game last night. The first time she'd been to a game in many weeks. She actually hadn't been pictured with Travis for many weeks.
She wasn't at his birthday the other night.
So people are like, ooh.
Oh, they're done.
They must be done.
Because I'm sure Taylor Swift is not busy at all.
Right. I
mean, there's nothing going on in her world.
I think a lot of people were almost hopeful that they were done just because, like...
You hater.
Well, no. You enjoy...
You just like drama, but...
I do, but you enjoy the ride up, but you enjoy it more the ride down. You know what I mean?
But she's back and very much showing that she's, there cheering on her man. And people also thought, is she on the outs with Brittany Mahomes?
Well, because Brittany Mahomes is now kind of a famous MAGA Trumpy. Like, Trump shouts her out.
And Taylor's very pro-Kamala, so people thought, oh, they don't speak anymore. Because they had been seen not, in separate suites and stuff. But nope, last night they were hugging, big, huge hug, just to make sure everybody knows they're all good. Brittany eventually showed up in the suite with Taylor, so... Looks like everything is good in her world.
Yeah, everything stays good.
The Chiefs won. They just keep winning.
They're undefeated.
I meant Taylor and Travis.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think Brittany Mahomes actually is a good little thing for Taylor Swift to have on her side because she's come out and, endorsed Kamala. And I assume / hope she will come out and do more in Pennsylvania, where she's from, to try to get out the vote. But I think that having Brittany Mahomes as this kind of like bestie, it kind of like gives you a bit of cover to your conservative fans that, yes, this is the way I feel. I'm progressive, but I'm still down to rock with you conservatives. It's not like I'm going to not be your friend anymore. I think it helps. It helps make her sort of like, these are my opinions, but I'm willing to...
But I don't hate you.
But I don't hate you
and
for it.
Honestly, we kind of need that as a country. Like,
true.
People hate each other. And you can disagree, and you don't have to like people, but we gotta live together. I mean, unless you literally want to start separating people off into little places and you can't go here and you can't be here. We got to live together.
Right. I mean, I assumed that maybe we wouldn't see them together for a little while just because it seemed like some sort of rivalry was brewing, but I guess that's kind of media sort of driven, it's not a real thing. So, I mean, good luck to her.
Because it's Taylor, so she knows there's that narrative that she's not speaking to Brittany. So, of course, when she bumps into her, they had to do this big, huge hug and make a sort of a display of it, because then she has to do that. You have to show no, we're still good. We're still good. It can't just be everything in her life just seems like it has to be so exaggerated because people read into every little thing.
Right.
But that's also her fault. She wants people to read into things because that keeps them interested.
Yeah, I mean,
all the little Easter eggs she drops for fans and stuff and about her relationships. She loves that.
I thought that maybe she was playing going cold on Travis just before she went back on tour, because it was good storyline. Like, are they broken up? Are they not? Because we talked about them so much when she was first going on tour, and it was great for the publicity. Not that she needed it, but it was. And now when she's going on this next leg, I thought that maybe she's playing maybe they're broken up game to get the publicity.
Maybe because it's kind of boring now.
Yeah,
and I mean, just as far as they're still dating, they're still happy, good for them. But it's not an interesting story anymore. It's just that's her boyfriend.
I am bored by this conversation. To be honest. I was bored talking about it, trying to sound excited. But I'm a little over it. If I'm honest.
Just Taylor, Travis, still together, still happy.
Great. Moving on. Okay. Lisa Marie Presley. She has a memoir coming out. A memoir that her daughter finished off.
Because
writing.
Lisa Marie died before she could finish it.
Right. So Riley, her daughter, finished it off, and a very interesting anecdote in it is about Riley's brother and Lisa Marie's son. He committed suicide, and then she was obviously very, distressed about it.
Of course.
So distressed that she, kept him inside the house for a month as she kind of decided
2
what to do
months.
next. 2 months.
2 months. She had to keep it in a climate-controlled room, like a 55-degree room to keep the body preserved in the house. And I guess she had a friend at a mortuary that helped her do that. And then, yeah, I guess in California, you don't have to really rush to decide what you're going to do.
Mm.
And she just couldn't deal with it, which is understandable. But yeah, kept the body in the house for 2 months. And that part of it was not just that she couldn't let go of him. She wasn't sure where she wanted him to be buried, either, in Hawaii or California or Tennessee. Ultimately, that is where he's buried, and that is where at least Marie's buried now. Actually, I saw their graves earlier this year in Memphis at Graceland. They are right there on the other side of where Elvis and his parents are. So they're all still together now.
Yeah, I mean, I can sort of my heart goes out to her in that sort of situation, and I can understand why a parent just wouldn't want to let a kid go.
Yeah.
2 months is a long time.
That is a long time.
But, I do, yeah, I feel sorry for her.
Yeah,
I mean,
she says it would have been weird for other people, it would have scared them, but it wasn't like that for her. Maybe she found comfort in it. I mean, it sounds weird to me.
And then now for her daughter to be completing her memoir, writing about this anecdote that she knew. I mean, she would have visited her mum in those days, probably.
Yeah, of course.
To be
I mean, that's her brother.
It's her brother.
So,
to be writing your deceased mum's
finishing
memoir.
your mom's memoir after she dies about your brother who committed suicide, and all of this in the shadow of your grandfather, which the burial place was what was the hang up on all this? That's got to be a lot for Riley Keough.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. I saw Priscilla Presley yesterday, actually.
Yeah? Did she talk to you?
Nope. But I saw her.
But you saw her.
Okay, on to our almost news segment here. Chappell Roan. She is shouting out her former teacher, but probably not in a way the teacher really likes. Let's have a listen to something she said at her concert the other night.
I usually dedicate this song to my ex. But I dedicate this song to my theater teacher who kicked me out.
All right, so her music teacher's getting a nice little shout out.
Yeah, for kicking her out of theater club. This was when she was performing her song "My Kink Is Karma" at Austin City Limits Festival, and yeah, she clearly does not have great love for this teacher that kicked her out.
Well, I mean, clearly the teacher must be an idiot to kick Chappell Roan out. Whatever you think about her, and her political, whatever you think about her, she's clearly a fantastic theater.
Oh yeah, she's a performer.
She's a performer.
But she also hates it though. We've seen she complains about fans. She complains about politics. She complains about everything. Maybe she was difficult in this class, and the teacher's like, you have to just show up and do the stuff. I mean, we've seen she's canceled performances because she's like, I'm overwhelmed by this. I can't do it, which fine. But if she felt that way about just, I mean, who knows? We're just speculating here. But what if there was a play that she's like, I can't do this performance tonight?
She kind of seems the type.
I mean, that's been her whole persona this whole year, basically, is I'm over everything.
Yeah, I mean, this one, I don't mind. I mean,
nah.
Everybody looks forward to a time where they can be like, ha, I was right all along. You guys were idiots. We all look forward to that moment.
Yeah.
But
has that happened for you yet?
I mean, it hasn't happened yet.
Someday.
But I'm just thinking
Keep
about
the dream alive.
Who am I going to shout out and say I was right? Well,
yeah, who are you going to say that to?
I mean, but I'm not right yet. So it's just there's no one to tell they're wrong yet because everyone else. But she's just for some reason she's kind of grating on people a little bit these last few weeks.
I mean, her fans that love her still love her, and her music's still great. I like her. Her album's great.
It's just, I don't personally, it's not for me, but I can appreciate the pop sort of vibes of it, and I understand why. My daughter walks around the house, and all she goes is H-O-T-T-O-G-O. That's all Peach will walk around the house.
So annoying if she only knows that part of the song.
She does, and you hear it everywhere you go, so her little ears perk up, and she sings about H-O-T-T-O-G-O.
Yeah. I don't know. It's so weird. She's gotten so big so fast this year, and obviously she's having issues adjusting to that. And I can see how that would be. You go from being kind of not nobody. She had an audience, but not like it is now. To now, everybody in the world knows who you are.
Yeah,
in a few months. That's crazy.
It's hard to wrap your head around, and then you got to act differently then because people take your words, they sift through your words and try to call you out for things.
Right.
So, I mean, you got to be, she's just basically being her, and like it or not. I think she's got a lot to learn about like being famous. Maybe she'll handle situations
Or
differently.
maybe she doesn't want to be famous. I think it'll be really interesting to see what she does next.
True.
Does she try to keep staying as this like A-level pop star that everyone's obsessed with? Or does she want to just keep making music and maybe pull back from being so famous?
I mean, that sounds nice.
Yeah. Either way, honestly, but
This is usually the part of the show where Charlie Neff does her Today in History segment. Do you like you are such
you're just asking me just to know things in history?
you're such a smart guy and your mind is like an encyclopedia.
It's weird.
It's
yeah.
October 8th. Has anything on October 8th happened? I know your music is your like Jeopardy sort of like category.
No, I mean yesterday, October 7th, obviously there was.
Well, yeah.
I don't know, October 8th?
Oh, like I thought
I don't think anything really super.
nothing is in
huge.
music has happened on this day ever.
I'm sure it has.
Incredible. Eric, incredible. Nothing has ever happened on this
Nothing
day.
has ever happened on October 8th.
Until today.
Until today, until Kanye and Bianca got back together and Chappell Roan called her teacher a bitch.
There we go. There we
That's
go.
it.
All right, Eric. Thank you, mate.
All right, always fun to be here.
And we'll see you guys here tomorrow. Goodbye.